The Bahamas are a beautiful location that'll suit your every need. If you need a quick getaway or vacation, they've got it. If you need a place to retire, live out the rest of your days, they've got it. If you happen to need a suitable location for an off-grid home, they've got it. So, how might I build an off-grid surf cabin in the Bahamas? The first step for me was finding an actual off-grid location. What's more off-grid than an island in the Bahamas? That's right, a private island in the Bahamas. My friends and I eventually decided on Big Bullard Cay, a relatively large island about 400 feet off the coast of Great Exuma. We divided the island between the 6 of us. You can see my section of the island there in purple. With the island's relative location to Great Exuma, importing supplies and materials will be easy. With my location and property figured out, it was time to start designing. I started planning where I would put my house, farm, and other amenities on this approximation of the island that I made in Minecraft. To help bring down overall building costs, I chose to make my house fairly simple with only a few rooms and out of local materials on the island. Any extra materials that I might need, I could simply import from Great Exuma. To aid in importing materials, my friends and I decided to build a communal dock. Alongside the dock, roads would be constructed on the island to bring equipment and materials to where they needed to be. The third and likely most important step was figuring out how I was going to live sustainably. Given it was the Bahamas, and there's quite an abundance of sunlight, I opted for solar power as my main source of energy. With an array of 50 300-watt solar panels, I should be able to power my house and all of my amenities without any problem. Using a couple of power banks, I can store power to use when it's cloudy or nighttime. As for food, the Bahamas have ideal conditions for growing various fruits and vegetables. To help maintain a healthy diet, I could likely fish for, fish. Raising livestock on the island could be greatly beneficial for things like milk. As for storing large amounts of food for a long period of time, I found that the best way to do that would be a temperature-controlled underground cellar. As for water, a small amount could be obtained by installing a rainwater collection system on the roof of my house. Step 4 was finding out powerful and unique technologies to help me live sustainably. Living on an island in the middle of the Bahamas, there's not a lot of water that isn't filled with salt. So to solve the issue of no clean water, I decided to purchase a desalination system. The system I purchased was able to produce almost 2,000 gallons of clean water a day, which is more than enough to sustain me, water my plants, and sustain my livestock. The final step of the project was budgeting. Taking into account the local building costs of the area, my 1,500 square foot house only came up to be $300,000. I cut down on the final cost by doing labor on my own and using local trees on the island as lumber for my house. Another thing that cut down on the overall cost is constructing shared utilities when I could. Amenities such as the communal dock and roads are an example of that. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.